We are the Purposeful Project. We help entrepreneurs for free. Welcome to today's Pep Talk, where we'll take just 20 minutes to interview leading experts from around the world who share actionable know-how, insights and life lessons. To hear these incredible insights, follow us on Spotify, Apple Music or anywhere you listen to podcasts, or you can simply visit thepurposefulproject.com, sign up to our mailing list and get the podcast in your inbox every single week. So I'm here with Tim Hayden. He is running a global watch brand from his kitchen. Right, Tim?
Well, you say it's global. It's global because I've sold into 48 countries now.
48?
Got my 48th country yesterday, Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia.
But it's still small numbers. We're still scratching the surface.
Why watches? What of all the things in the world that you can make?
It wasn't something I sat around and thought about. It's somebody else that said they wanted to start a watch company. And then I looked into it and I saw that it's actually a very fast-growing industry. So from a business point of view, it looked great, the margins look good, the opportunity looked good, but from a personal point of view, it's satisfied a creative itch I had. But also, there's an itch inside me that I'd never quite achieved what I wanted to in life, and that's I'd never really gone for it. I've grown some businesses in the past, and some big businesses, but never anything major. So I thought, what a challenge to try and grow a global brand from my kitchen.
I think that's actually a really important point you're making. I really like it, which is knowing yourself well enough to realise what you want to achieve and what you haven't given yourself yet that chance to achieve. You don't want to be on your deathbed, right, and say, "Oh, have the regret of not doing X,"
exactly.
Right? But a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people. What do you think made you kind of pull the plug on, let's say, the easy life and go for this tougher entrepreneurial journey? What was? There must have been a moment.
Yeah, there was. It was around my kids. I wanted to show my kids that. I remember talking to my son, and he wants to go into acting. He loves a drama. Not loves a drama, he loves the drama. And I just remember saying to him that he has to follow his dreams. He has to, go follow his heart and just give it everything. And I thought, well, instead of telling him, why not I show him? And I think, for me, I think the definition of success is somebody who's fulfilling their purpose. And in my 40s, I was fulfilling my purpose by being a father first and putting myself there for my kids. As they were growing up and they're about to leave home, and then knew I had to fulfill my purpose on the entrepreneurial journey as well. So that was the moment, really. When I looked at him, I thought, I need to show him. Not tell him, I need to show him.
Do you think your journey has been what you expected so far? Is it harder, easier, or what do you think?
It's completely different. It's completely different. I didn't realise just how much it would have to be focused on social media. I didn't realise how much it would have to be focused on building your own personal brand. The businesses, the first time I set up businesses, it was before social media, and I'd only ever done B2B businesses before, not a B2C business. So connecting with that audience is a completely different feel. So that was completely different, but it's so much more enjoyable.
That direct relationship you've now got with your clients, right?
Yeah.
That's very, very unique, isn't it, in this day and age?
Yeah, definitely. I think we were talking earlier about different platforms and how you have to use different platforms in this day and age. And I look at, I have a business, so I have an audience and I have a product, and I need to build a bridge between the two. And that bridge is emotion. That's the brand, that's the love. And so that's the focus. And that is so enjoyable, really getting that connection with the audience. And luckily, so far, it's all going well and build up a good following.
Like, I met you during lockdown and through TikTok.
Yeah.
And so, I resonated with your story of building this business from the kitchen and the transparency that you bring to the table, which I wish all entrepreneurs would do, actually, because it is a bit glamorized now, entrepreneurship, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so I think it's important also to show the highs and lows. So I love the videos you've done where, like, no watch sales for a few days and that stressful feeling that we all have, and documenting that, I think, is just exceptional. But did you expect to be so popular on social media as a personal brand?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a confident thing to say, but I looked into it and I didn't know how. That's the bit I didn't know. How can I do this? But I thought, if I can get this over, if I can get this message over, if I can put over and document my story, not try and preach to people what they should do and what they shouldn't do, but just tell people what I am doing. and then they can come to their own conclusions on that. I do get called a fake and a fraud, so there's some people that don't believe that I'm doing what I'm doing. But I'm just putting it out there. And the thing it's helping with the business is, we spoke about this earlier as well, momentum. If I can put over the story, put over the journey, build the momentum, it's going to help the business and it's going to help my personal brand as well. So, to be honest, I don't know why more people aren't doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
Because I wish this was around. When I started business at the age of 30, I had a Yellow Pages, a telephone.
So much harder.
And that's what it was. It's just phoning one after another. This is basically, this is word of mouth on steroids.
Yeah.
It's such a massive opportunity.
It's so true, and I want that message to get through anyone listening that they should lean into social media. And I think that there is the other thing I'm really enjoying about what's happening with social media, and I don't know if you agree with me on this, is it's getting harder for people to fake it on social media, in the sense that most of them are voice activated or video live. You can only play a character so long on live, right? So people have to be themselves, and that means the good people are shining through, and the people that are faking it, let's call it the fake Lamborghini drivers type idea, are starting to go into decline, when I think the more genuine people, the authenticness comes through. And I think that's personally why I think you've done so well. You're so authentic. Yeah. And I think that's what's making social media work for you.
And you've seen it in the public as well. They're leaning away from Instagram, they're leaning more towards the TikTok sort of culture. And TikTok is as raw and as transparent as social media can ever be. Yeah. When TikTok came out, it was a balance really, because before, everything being weighted towards the celebrity on Instagram, the posh picture, the well taken shot, the good looking glamorous people. Then all of a sudden TikTok came along, and it gave everybody that equal platform to perform on. Yeah. And we've taken advantage of that.
Yeah, totally. I think you highlighted a new platform to me, Clapper, which I've been playing around with as the adult version of TikTok, is how they pitch it, right? But what's your view on Clapper so far? Boring, yeah. It's not got there yet, has it? It hasn't got the same rhythm.
I think Clapper doesn't have a USP. It's kind of taken away some of the the TikTok the features, so that it just attracts the older audience. But it needs to have something of its own, and it doesn't have anything of its own yet, which says, I am Clapper, this is different. There's not a feature or something slightly different, and it needs to have that.
Yeah, it's not quite there.
I think it's just a bit damp.
Can we talk about something I feel very passionate about when it comes to business? As you know well, I do try to give people advice. I'm not always right. That's why I love to discuss things with other entrepreneurs and get a balanced view for people listening. But one of the things I really believe in is being niche. Even big platforms started off niche, like Facebook focused in on universities, right? For the longest time, they were a university app. But that allowed them to get that base, that strength, to then escalate into other things. Jeff Bezos did books. He was focused very much just on books. Yeah. Of course, that worked and scaled up. But you're in a niche, and I see a lot of people approaching you on social media saying, well, why don't you do a smartwatch? Yeah. And your answer was brilliant. Why would I want to compete with Apple? That's not niche enough. But so you clearly believe in this niche thing too.
100%. But it's one of the things I get asked all the time. You get the youngsters coming to you saying, what about multiple streams of income? What about doing this and all these different side hustles? And it's probably the quickest way to fail. The thinner you spread yourself, the less successful you'll be in any one of those things. If you look at every successful entrepreneur in history, has had one thing which they've focused on. They've tunnel vision, they've put the blinkers on, and they've just gone whole hog into that one thing. They made that big, and then they've diversified. Then they've taken on other projects and different things. And it's the same with the business as well. I try and keep my blinkers on with the watches. People say to me, when you're going to produce an automatic watch or a smart watch, or I've even stopped bringing out the women's watches until we bring it out this year. I focus solely on men's watches. I focus solely on fashion, not luxury, not smart, not digital. And then I just focus on one audience as well. And also in my TikToks, I just try and be one person. I don't try and please everyone. You can't do that.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, I think some great advice there for people listening. I think the other thing I see, and again, this is one of the reasons I do what I'm doing, is that you see someone come on and says, I've got these 11 multiple income streams, renting out a house and doing this and doing that. And it all sounds good. But in reality, if you've got behind the scenes, those people are often not focused and ironically, quite often not happy. Because actually, if you focus in on one thing you love and you really make it work, it's like having 11 relationships at once.
Yes.
That's how I kind of try to explain to people. It sounds good, doesn't it, dating 11 people at once? Maybe you think that means you're going to have a great life. But in reality, you never have a deep and meaningful relationship with anyone if you have 11
I think as well,
relationships.
people like to, especially youngsters, and I see a lot of these guys on TikTok saying this. I think they look at the top guys and they realise Elon Musk he's got rockets, he's got tunnels, he's got cars, he's got this, he's got that. Yeah. Right, I'm going to diversify because I want a bit this, a bit that. And basically, you're not Elon Musk. You're actually Del Boy. No. Who's just wheeling and dealing and doing a bit of everything and getting nowhere. Yeah.
Plus, they don't understand that there's steps. Yeah. Right.
Like Elon Musk had PayPal. He didn't have anything else.
Exactly. He had quite a few things before PayPal. Yeah. You know, you focus on getting, let's say, the entrepreneur model right. And then what he did, which, I mean, he's good at marketing and he's good at raising money, right? And he took those two core strengths and then applied it to big problems, right? Tesla wasn't his invention, right? He's the front of the company. He's definitely the person you can argue that's made sure it worked, but it wasn't his invention. So I think sometimes people haven't really twigged to that point. Like you say, they just see the headline. It's a bit like raising money. This is another area. A lot of people raise money. I don't know, you raise money through crowdfunding. You're very successful at it. Yeah. And I think in your business, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Because then you've got 100%. 270 customers in theory as well for your product, right? But I think for a lot of people, the first step they say is, I can't start a business, I don't have money. And then they think, how can I raise money? But I bet there was 20 things you did before you even went to crowdfunding. Yeah. And I think that's what people miss.
20 things that failed.
Right. It wasn't, I've got an idea, I'll go raise some money on crowdfunding. Now I've got the money on crowdfunding, I can start the company. Totally not. The other way around, right?
Well, we launched the business 4 years ago, to the day almost. And it was after a year and a half, I thought, right, I need to raise some money here. And then it took me a year to build the story, to sell to the investors, to raise the money. So all my focus went into that, making the story, building the story, and that's just building the brand. Stages, steps and steps and steps to go through.
The other thing I noticed one of your most popular videos is about you selling your house. Okay. And looking to invest your life savings into your business. Because that's something I believe in, which is kind of all in. Yeah. Right. Let's say people aren't willing to risk it.
Do you know how much crap? I'm sorry about saying crap. Yeah. How much crap I got for that off people in the comments?
Really? No, I don't check comments very often. Was there a lot of negative feedback?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, there's a lot. Again, this entity with social media is 95% positive, but the 5% that weren't. How could you do that to your kids?
Oh, really?
How could you? You're jeopardising your kids' future. And I'm thinking, no, I'm showing my kids. Right. I'm showing my kids to go for it over any circumstance.
What a great insight there that is. And I see it on my social media feed when people are negative about my comments and my posts. And one of the things is exactly what you're saying. People believe that a legacy of a parent is to die and leave a house for your children. That's almost the perception, that's what you should be doing. But that's, of course, I completely the opposite. I want to give my child an experience. I want him to see my life. I want him to see my world. I don't just want to be working all day and then giving him a house when I'm dead. How has that brought any value to him? Right?
That's a better legacy there.
But that's what. I think it's very important to talk about this actually, because a lot of people, especially parents, that are influencing their kids. They're like, get a house when you're young and hold on to that in debt for their whole lives. And sometimes, to me, they get trapped, and then they end up falling into what you're talking about, which is, and you could have fallen into that. You could have easily said, well, I'll just stay safe. I've got money. I've got a house. This is my legacy for my children. That's almost your excuse for not doing what you're doing now.
Yeah. I mean,
that could have been your excuse, couldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I had a comfortable life. I didn't need to do this. I didn't need to risk everything. I was semi-retired. I was working 1 day a week, earning good money, nice house. Everything was there for me. Holidays, cars, everything you'd want. But that wasn't me fulfilling myself. That wasn't me fulfilling my purpose. And you mentioned there about going all in. I think it's really important. If you want to do something major, you want to really go for it, you've got to increase the amount you risk. For a couple of reasons. One, it gives you no other alternative. There's nothing like having your back against a wall when you want to go forward and really push into something. But also, it completely stops you from becoming complacent at any stage. And complacency is that, let's sit in the comfort zone. Let's just sit in the comfort zone and then just let life drift.
It's really important people get this. It's so profound what you're talking about, and I think so many people get caught into the treadmill of life, and they get a paycheck, but they're not actually happy. So what they do is they need more money to buy things, try and make themselves happy, because they're not actually enjoying the treadmill they're on. Right?
But I think as well, and one of the things I truly believe in is that I'm almost the anti-entrepreneur, because I don't believe entrepreneurship is the answer for everyone. I don't think that's right. I think the success comes from fulfilling your purpose, and I don't think I'm in the right place to tell somebody else what their purpose is. They've got to find out for themselves, and it may not be entrepreneurship. It might be setting up an animal hospital. It might be travelling the world. It might be becoming a nurse, a doctor, a plumber. Everyone's different, and I think as long as you can have that self-awareness to realise what your purpose is, and you fulfil your purpose, then you'll love your journey.
Yeah, well finished. Good story arc there.
I just brought it in.
Yeah, I mean, again, I believe everyone should be given the tools of entrepreneurship. So even if it's negotiating, your salary as a waiter in a restaurant, if you're given some of those tools, then you should at least be given. To me, like, entrepreneurship was like waking up. I feel like I woke up when I understood that you can take something from your mind and make it real. I'll never starve again because I learned this, that kind of idea. So no one gives me a job, no problem, because I learned this thing that if something is in your head, you can make it real if you dedicate, if you focus, if you're willing to learn, if you're willing to take feedback, if you're willing to push back, and that skill, once you've got it, will mean you'll never be reliant on someone else, which means if you take a job, you're taking it because you want to take it. You want that job. That's like you say, that's your purpose, that's your destiny. I feel that so many people, unfortunately, don't give them the tools to even have a choice. So they end up trapped either by debt or by the very job that they thought they wanted, and it's not what they want. Because they have never asked themselves what is their purpose, to your point, right? They've not had that freedom to ask themselves what is their purpose.
And that's another thing as well, because they haven't asked themselves the questions, because they've never pushed themselves outside their comfort zone. I did a post which went sort of viral, and this kid asked me, he had £1,000. What advice would you give to a kid with £1,000? I told him to go on holiday, get out of the house and go abroad and see the world.
All right.
I actually told him to get drunk and get a tattoo as well at the same time, as a bit of a joke. I said it as a bit of as a jokey thing, but the message was, you don't have to. The last thing I tell my son to do, if he had £1,000 spare, is just stick it in stocks and just sit there and just watch a percentage go up every year. You're not learning anything. You're not growing as a person. You're not finding out what you want out of life, and those things are the important things. Those things are important. It's easy for us to say, well, I'm in my 50s, you're in your 40s, and it's easy for us our stage of our life.
I actually don't think it's that. I mean, I know, it's not that easy to say, because I think the frustration is you don't want to upset people. I don't like having haters. I've got a few haters on my social media. Yeah. They think that, it's all right for you, rich white guy. They don't know where I've come from. They don't know how I started, you know, but people will make judgments on you. But I think, it's actually very important to at least have this dialogue. I think education's broken. I think kids now, they're taught to memorise stuff. What's the point of that? Talk tests are important, get an A or you're a failure. The school doesn't want you in the school if you don't get A's, because it's not good for them. Thank you for listening to Pep Talk today, powered by the Purposeful Project. If you found it interesting, please give us a review and follow us. In addition, you can sign up to our website and get loads more free entrepreneur knowledge, as well as get access to Pep Talk and the Purposeful Project podcast direct in your inbox every week.